What's up? Could you guys let me know if you can hear me? I'll give you guys a minute to log in or tune in. Hey Chelsea, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Sweet. Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes late. I wanted to do this on my laptop, and it turns out it's a whole other thing to do it off your laptop. You gotta do a streaming thing to connect it to Instagram to do a live, and I wanted to not use my phone because I gotta use the front camera in order for me to see myself and make sure I'm still like in frame, blah 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 blah. But yeah, anyways. So, yeah. What's up? Also, I had to feed my cats before they start meowing throughout the video. But yeah, all right. So, what I'm going to focus on is really let's see. I'm going to start with the book burning on all the books on magic that I had. I'm good. How are you guys? Feeling good, doing very well. Yeah, it's just been crazy. Nothing bad, just, yeah. My birthday was yesterday, so I'm Virgo Libra, right on the cusp, and I've noticed some shit going down. We had was it in August? We had that lunar eclipse, and then we had the full moon, blood moon, and then we had a lot of shit going on. Thank you. We had a lot of shit going on with the moon and solar flares, and we just had the solar stuff. Yeah, I've never paid attention to the stars as much as I have now. Thanks, homie. The things that are happening in the stars the things happening here are not happening because of what's happening in the stars, right? The stars are a reflection of what's happening here. And if you pay attention, you can correlate, oh shit, this is the kind of stuff that is going on. And if you can't figure out what's going on inside or in your immediate life, you can turn to the stars, for example, and maybe get a little bit of a clearer reflection or understanding of what's happening at the moment. The body turned 41, 21. I feel 21. Turned 41. And yeah, I feel like I just completed 40. So, according to certain magical systems, disciplines, you're not a man or an adult human until you hit 40 and married and all that stuff. And I did that last year back to back, right? I got married on the 22nd and then birthday on the 23rd. Big stuff, just all around. Lots of maturing, lots of maturity. Learning even more patience and compassion for people. I think that Virgo side of me is had enough with being tolerant of the virtue of patience, but at the same time, not just pop out a kid. No. But yeah. So it's been interesting. A lot of it is very internal. So last year I was letting go of things. Letting go of what wasn't serving me, and so on. I will say though, I have a knack for getting rid of things that don't serve me to such an extent that I no longer really have to partake in physically getting rid of things. Like I don't have to partake in deleting, burning, all that stuff. I've created programs into the subconscious that just do it for me. Like servitors. I won't get too much into all this stuff now. I'll do another live getting more into the schematics of and details of how these programs work and stuff, but it's similar to computer technology, AI, frameworks. You're already in a simulation. You can then partake and co-create in the simulation by creating and running your own simulations where they can have a life of their own, kind of like creating bots, bots already automatically do the thing that you programmed them to do. So you don't have to physically be there to do the work that the bots do. And if you want to get more intense about it, more technical about it, then you can have a program that is like the main servitor, like an AI program that is monitoring or managing or supervising the bots to do the work. That's it. So I have these servitor programs that I have installed and have been refining for maybe 10 years now. So when people show up in my life and it's not about us, it's just about them, I don't need to play along or be involved until I find out after they're gone that they didn't serve a purpose other than to remind me that I'm exactly where I need to be, and not to forget that. And so when was it? It feels like so long ago. Was it this year? I think it was this year, or maybe last year. I think it was this year. But I had a friendship that I was building with someone that I thought was building a friendship with me as well. And they are or were a magician. So when I met them in person, there was a lot of conversation about what magic is and stuff. And this is probably the Virgo side, I like to stick around to see where this is going. Even if something already told me the first instance, this is bullshit, but I want to see why. I want to understand why. I want to have answers to maybe my close friends when they ask me why, instead of just saying intuition. No, I want to have something more concrete, a story to be able to share. And the only way I can get those stories is if I go, let's see where this goes. I want to see where this plays out. Even though I know that this is not going to work out between you and I want to see how this plays out. What's the plot? Where is this going? How does the story end? Because I already know that it's going to end. It's going to end really fucking soon. So from the person, there was a lot of personal preconceived notions or belief systems around magic, yada, yada, yada. So I was already questioning my relationship to magic. And so it was a coincidence that we met at the time that we did. I tried on their program, their circuit, and I burned all those books. Now, I will say this thing with magic, since I was young, there's something about it that's very captivating. It feels very familiar, but when I go and interact and engage and perform magic, you're always following some sort of doctrine, if you will. To me, every system of magic is a doctrine, right? There are the entities, there are the rules, there's the angels or the demons or the deities, all that shit, right? Like it's a program, and it wants you. There is a dogma to it, if you will, even if it's not religion or religious, it's still religious. You have to follow it this way. You have to call out the names this way. It has to be at this time of the week, and XYZ. All belief systems, all programs. So my assumption and my interpretation and what I was being told about magic was that it's a means for the human to acquire or obtain power. And I've had a weird relationship with power because my earliest examples of people with power were people with power who used their power onto me to take away my freedom, to take away my sovereignty. Now, I was a child and understanding of that, but my examples of power were individuals of power that abused their power and use their power to force their will onto me, right? Whether it was sexual abuse, physical abuse, psychological trauma, like MK shit, right? So my entire life, I don't want the Philosopher's Stone. I don't want power. I don't want any of this shit. Cool. So when I'm being shown examples of people in the realms of magic, they are looking for some sort of power, right? Eventually. And, having certain groups show up to bring me into their brotherhoods, into their cults, their little organizations, I was able to eventually see where they lead, and you're just in a circuit loop of their doctrines, and you can't do anything outside of that. By the time you can realize that you're stuck in a circuit that's not yours, it's a servitude circuit. You've already been so programmed that you don't realize, and now you just keep playing along. So the book burning on all the books on magic, I came to now understand the reason that I burn all those books on magic is because I was cleansing my neural circuits and my psychology and everything from the preconceived notions and what I believe magic is. Now let's fast forward to now. So there has been something that has been, there are two words that have shown up in my life since 2016 when I first arrived into this reality, my actual birth date, right? I've talked to people, strangers, and it's a reoccurring theme of you're a chaos magician. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. And for some reason, the words stayed around my peripheral, but they were never something that showed up directly to me. So, and then when I would hear certain individuals talk about their chaos magicians, when they would talk about it, it just felt like the rest of the other shit. So I recently I did a bunch of ketamine, dissociative, very powerful, especially at higher doses, and it just came to me, like it just happened. A lot of Robert Anton Wilson stuff. Have all these books that I did not burn because they didn't seem like they're magic or magic based, but they are magic based, right? But Robert Anton Wilson, and then I have these really obscure, really weird books from Timothy Leary, and then you got the Terrence McKenna stuff, and I was like gluing these things together with Alan Watts, and then Carl Jung, and my work in a lab, specifically with the animals, because they're so straightforward with me when I work with them, as opposed to like the metals and the minerals, and the plants are a little more forward too. But anyway, so yeah, I came across chaos magic. There's so many threads to that part too, but there's an author or a comic book writer, he's a writer in general, Grant Morrison. I found my cats. I found this video on YouTube from this guy, Grant Morrison, and he's talking about chaos magic. And something in what he was saying, I just want to remove the word chaos magic for a second and just listen to what he's saying, because that really resonated. And I'm reading this book. We just grab it real quick. No, it's fine. Anyways, it's all chaos magic. Chaos magic is interesting because the showing up of chaos magic happened around the 60s, right? This book, Liber Null, Psychonaut, but they didn't call it chaos magic, but it was something that I've already been doing, and I did not know that there was like a word or words to it. So I don't subscribe to a particular thing, right? So when people introduce me to other people as an alchemist, I always feel really weird, because I don't know if I'm actually an alchemist, but I do practice the discipline of alchemy, and I specifically work through it through the animals, right? Which I could have only done through my work with the other two realms. So essentially, what you're doing in the realm of chaos magic is you don't subscribe to a particular philosophy or a particular structure, particular dogma. You, as the tactician, as the technician, as the observer, as the experimenter, you go into different systems and you experiment with what feels resonant with you, and you try it out. But it's an experiment, so you try it out. So you do it wholeheartedly, even if it's in the realm of maybe like Kabbalah, for example. Maybe you're not gonna practice Kabbalah, but there might be certain things about the structure of Kabbalah or the system of Kabbalah that you might resonate with. Let's try this on. Let's try it out, and it's all an experiment. And look at the outcome. Look at the results. Did it work? Did it not? If it didn't, let's analyze what we did. Maybe compare it to how it was told to do it. Can we do anything different? Try it. But really do it, Don't just like roll the dice and expect manifestation or whatever the fuck. Like really fucking do it. And see if there's any changes that are positive or for you that occur. If there's nothing, drop it, delete it. You have to actually delete the systems that you programmed into your OS and then try something different. That's like once you delete, you can defragment, like really go into it and get rid of the shit and just do something else. And that's the kind of stuff that I've always been doing. I just didn't know that it was something. And I feel that my confusion with what magic is and everything else, I didn't understand that part. No one told me that part of you can let go and try again. Try the same thing in a different way, alter, tweak, combine it with a different system, combine it with a different practice, a different philosophy, a different, try it again. Keep trying. And one of the things that I've realized with chaos magic is, well, first of all, freedom. I get to preserve my autonomy. So I am not, I'm not this, I'm not that. I'm still me. I'm still creating and curating who and what I am in this world. And it feels great. I don't feel like I'm forced to be part of something, so I don't have to sell my soul or my spirit. I don't have to eat any babies, or adrenochrome. I don't have to do weird rituals that I'm just not jiving with, I don't have to make blood pacts with anyone or any organization or anything weird like that. Like I could just be me, sustain and maintain autonomy, and still be free. Very mercurial, right? Take the shape of the vessel which I'm put into, but I am not the thing. I'm not becoming that thing, right? So there's some beauty, in the Bible. There's some beauty in Christianity, specifically like Gnostic Christianity, right? Which is technically like the birth womb of Christianity. But I don't subscribe to anything. I subscribe to myself, which is constantly experimenting, trying things on. I do dip more than just my toes because I really want to feel it. I want to kind of lose myself for a moment to it, but also maintain some sort of psychospiritual salt circle where I don't completely lose myself and my psyche to whatever it is that I'm experimenting with, because you want to be, maybe not careful is the word, you just want to be aware. You want to be in control. You really do. You want to sustain control. And we live in a society, we live in a paradigm, in a reality that, everything is capturing your attention. Everything wants your attention, right? The most powerful thing that you have is what you pay attention to, right? We've talked about this before, or I've talked about it. It's energy. We call it paying attention. It's the most powerful, most valuable resource that a human being has, your attention. It's not your money. It's not the amount that's in your bank account, how many cryptocurrencies and how much of them you have. Like, it's not. It's your attention. That's it. It's the most precious, most beautiful, most powerful thing that you have, because what you put your attention to, that thing that is receiving your attention, is what you empower. You invigorate it. You give it life. You give it form. You give it authority. Very powerful. But yeah, so one of the things I love science. I understand what science really is. Science is the workings of the material, the soul, the body, the manifestation, the projection from the spirit, right? So science is missing some stuff. And in a nutshell, it's spirituality. But I can say the same fucking thing about spirituality. It's missing something. It's missing its relationship to science or the material. And spirituality is missing. Yeah, and alchemy is the workings of utilizing spirit and material to understand and reveal the soul, or the actuating cause, the thing that I think that the soul is somehow connected to the observer, not the analyzer, not the mind, not the brain. That alchemy is connected to the art. It's the art of being able to understand, comprehend, or even fathom that there's a soul, but through the relationship of material and spiritual. So, right now I'm doing some experiments on how I can connect alchemy into chaos magic, because, with magic, it's not just what you're thinking, it's what you're doing, right? So when you create these physical circuits, whether it's correspondence of planets, temperatures, color theory, whatever it is, right? You perform these physical rituals so that the mind can then connect to those circuits. So the physical and the mental are both affected and changed or altered by that relationship. You always want to connect things. If it's just the realm of spirituality, you're not doing anything but mental, psychological, psychospiritual jerking off. And if it's just physical, it's physical. Same fucking thing, right? Yeah. So I burned those books, I guess, earlier this year, because I was ridding myself and cleansing my receptor sites and circuits from preconceived notions or belief systems that I either accrued on myself, on my own, or others shared, which I then allowed to be imprinted into me. I let go of them by burning these books, because every single one of those books on magic was, the core of it had some sort of doctrine that you had to follow to the T in order for these things to work out. And if you do, and you start to work out, you're kind of submitting yourself and locking yourself to this dogma, this belief structure, this belief system. So yeah, I let go of that stuff just by burning those books as a de-initiation to sovereignty, to authentic self, to authentic being, thinking, feeling, and expression. That's why I burned the books, Now I will say, some of them were expensive, some of them were not easy to find, blah, blah, blah. And when I did that, I just realized, I think that there was maybe some good tidbits in there, but I already had gone through them, so I got the tidbits, and we have the internet. Right, no to any manipulation, right. The only one that should be manipulating is you. Because we do it every day, right? We manipulate our emotions. I'm pissed off at the motherfucker who cut me off, but I'm going to manipulate my reaction, my thoughts and emotions to change the effect that it's having on me, and so on. So if anybody should be manipulating, it's you. But you have to be conscious and conscientious and aware of that you're doing it at all times. Okay. A bunch of my friends were like, yo, if you're gonna structure your Instagram live, just don't, what's the word? Don't, I wrote some notes because people appreciate my chaotic nature. So I'm just structuring the chaos, but still chaotic. So, and this is still a practice for me. So I'm working through this. But yeah, I'm really interested in magic because it comes from us, and it comes down to a cooperation between, I create, I think, therefore I am. All that stuff is magic, right? The attention part is part of the magic, right? I'm still working on animals. It's probably what I'll keep doing when it comes to alchemy. I'm not seeking the stone. I self-realized it in 2016, and now what I'm doing is coming to terms with what I learned and digesting that data stream from 2016, which has been hard because it's very abstract. Human words, syntax as language agreed upon by some sort of larger consensus, and that's what the reality is. I feel this thing so closely with the animals because there's a magic to them that's very similar to the magic that we have. The material is not magic, the material is a byproduct of. Therefore, then it's a byproduct of what? The mentalism, one of the 7 laws, if there's even just 7, or only 7. So when I come across these writings on chaos magic and stuff, I start to realize I start to think about certain specific animals, depending on the specific thing that I'm studying or realizing. And the animals being us, we are a type of animal, there's a knowledge and wisdom to them that changes so much about my reality when I drink these spagyrics that I make, let alone the actual processing of the animal. But when I drink, when I consume, when I commune with these animals, it immediately starts to affect my neurology, starts to affect my central peripheral nervous system. It starts to affect the way that I can see things from an almost objective or observer standpoint, as opposed to the mind just being so constantly and consistently wrapped up in wanting to pretend that it knows, because that's part of the human condition. We like to pretend that we know. We want to sustain autonomy by being correct, right? Like one of the best sales techniques that there are is, let's see, you want to sell something to someone, you ask that they want to, the mind wants to sustain, maintain autonomy, so you don't sell them the product. You start with something along the lines of, hey, would you be opposed to knowing about this product that I'm selling? They respond with no. No is a way of maintaining and sustaining autonomy. Where if you would have asked, can I sell this thing to you? Their autonomous response wants to be no. So if you go, are you opposed to me talking to you about this thing that I want to sell or that I'm selling? They're still going to say no more times than not. And when they say no, they're unconsciously sustaining and maintaining autonomy, but now they've opened themselves up to you selling the thing, and they're most likely going to buy it because they already accepted their autonomous nature by saying no. And then you hit them with the selling point and they just go, okay, because I said no, now I'm willing to buy this thing because you allow me permission, right? And we live in a world where even though that's part of our human nature, we don't really understand that or know it at all. So we subscribe to things unconsciously because a lot of the programs that are fed to us are unconscious. So we don't even need to play the autonomy game. We just fucking accept things, especially when they're repetitive, you know? So the news, blah, blah, blah. But anyway. So, yeah. I'm in this little endeavor of connecting or bridging magic with science and spirituality. It's interesting. It's just so much data that it could take me weeks or months just on one single little thought of something, an idea, something very abstract, just writing. Then it shows up in dreams. Maybe take an entheogen and trying to understand what the fuck is going on. It's been an interesting ride. But yeah, this is where I've been. This is where I'm at, and then there's the changes that are happening right now. You know, 3i Atlas, right? Recently just disappeared behind Jupiter for a second. Like it dematerialized away from. Is space even real? There's a firmament. That's, you know, that's a fact if you're paying attention. But yeah, you know, has this been soft disclosure? Are aliens going to show up? Are they extraterrestrials? Are they interdimensionals? You know, or yeah, it's a fun show, that's for sure. This reality that we're living in, it's fucking awesome, and I'm here for it. You know, it's better than the zombie apocalypse, and better than, you know, COVID, whatever programs they keep programming into us. We're trying to. But yeah, we're entering some interesting times, and I know I've said this before, but I've known this since 2016, 2017. Dude, 2027 is a big deal, and 2027, I have this big feeling that none of this is gonna fucking matter, like none of it. I don't think that we're dying. I don't think, you know, I don't know if Christ is coming or if it's just a program, you know, like a source code, but I'm really excited about the way that things are happening right now. If you're paying attention and not getting too distracted with, you know, Charlie Kirk getting popped. If he actually got assassinated, who the fuck knows, right? Is the earth flat? Is it round? I don't know. I've heard some funny memes about why the fuck do I care whether or not the earth is flat? It ain't paying my goddamn bills kind of thing, you know? And this is where we're at, this program of, in order for me to be happy, in order for me to exist, in order for me to be content and so on and so forth, I need money, I need a job, I need all this shit. I'm watching a lot of my friends, including my own wife, you know, they're on their way to successes financially, and I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. I'm going to keep doing the thing that I'm doing. I'm open to changes, you know, collaboration, which is a new one for me too. I've never wanted to collaborate because I've just had icky experiences with collaboration. It's like being back in school with the book reports, right? Here's your group, do the thing. I wind up doing all the work, and then we all get credit for it. I'm like, it's not that I need credit, it's just, this is bullshit. I'd rather do it alone, and I've done okay, like I've done all right by myself, but opening myself up to collaboration, working with others, and, you know, releasing my perfumes finally after, I don't know, they've been sitting around, the writing and stuff on the website as a draft for years now. But I'm answering opportunities that are showing up, and yeah, I'm here for it. I've been in my hermit cave for a very long time, and it's an awesome place. But I found myself now at the point of I'm just jerking off to myself. It, like, the inner workings, right? The universe that exists within myself and all this stuff. It's fascinating. It's beautiful. What's going on inside of me. Like, I could get lost in there for days. I could take LSD or smoke deep. I could just do it for days, and it's just terrifyingly beautiful, whatever the fuck is going on. We all have that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, this new thing with chaos magic. I want to talk more about it. I'm not gonna do it tonight, but this thing with chaos magic has been awesome, and I want to share with you guys. If you guys are into it. If you're not, just be like, nope. But if you are, I would like to talk about it more, because perhaps, I was also thinking maybe I could do lives where I talk about a specific thing that I'm going to do, a specific type of ritual, whatever, programs. That's what a ritual is, right? Like, create physical, mental, taking these things, right? Experimenting with them. And if you wanted to as well, to experiment with something similar, maybe change the objective, right? But I'm down to be very candid about what it is that I'm intending and stuff, and then we could also just talk about results, because the angels, the entities, all that stuff, they're just programs. That's it. They're real because they are in your reality if you experience them, but they're not real in the sense that there is no angel more powerful than you. There is no god or goddess more powerful than you. There is no planet more powerful than you. These things only exist because you exist. If you did not exist, they would not exist. They have no power or dominion over us. Even the conversation of Jesus of Nazareth, or the guy that achieved Christ consciousness, he has no say or will or anything in your reality. Neither does Satan or the devil or Lucifer or Beelzebub or Moloch. They don't exist unless you exist. So you are the one that gives these things power. So there is no need for fear. You're the head honcho. You're the big dick, right? Like, you're the thing that gives things power. So there is no fear then, right? They're toys. They're machinations of the mind. Even if it's someone else's story, play around if you want with them, but those thems are only there because you allow them to be. And if you allow them to have power, then they have power. Maybe you can give them power to do, you can utilize these angels or demons or whatever the fuck. You can rewrite their script, if it works for you or not. And I don't know if that's really what I want to try to, or what I want to attempt to do, but what I am interested in is playing around with these things as experiments, but always knowing, I don't need to draw a salt circle and sit my chair inside that circle to protect me from what? My own beliefs, my own creations. They belong to me. The planets, the deities, the gods, the goddesses, the angels, the demons, they actually belong to my imagination. So my imagination is mine, so they belong to me, and so there's no fear. And I don't have to fall into any unknown manipulation systems that come with those things, right? I can rewrite them for myself, but you have to rewrite them yourself. So I'd be down to do series or whatever of Instagram lives, and maybe invite other people to chime in. We could do a double try video kind of thing where we all take turns, unless I'm invited to do podcasting elsewhere, or people come by at the house lab. We can do that stuff. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So that's one of the things to expect from me, is going on live and talking about certain experiments that I'm doing, and you guys can try them out, and if you guys have input, but let's together maybe see results, see how it works out, see how it happens, and what kind of outcomes come from these experiments. Because if they're experiments and you're creating models, science likes to get caught up in models as if the models are reality. They're not. It's a downfall. It's one of the downfalls of science. Models are the reason why we get stuck in places. They're experiments, man. They're latex gloves. You put them on to do the thing, and then you take them off when you're done. If you're not done, you keep wearing them. If one breaks, you just change it to, get a new one, replace that, and keep working. It's a game. It's a game. There's no right or wrong. There is effectiveness, efficacy. there's just results, and if the results are not what we're looking for, we can try again. And I'm open to suggestions too, you know what I mean? And whatever questions you guys have, like, I'm here. If I can respond, and if I can't, it's probably going to be a response of more questions, right? Let's get to the bottom of things. Let's create together, because I think I've met somewhat of a limitation to what I can do by myself, because I'm not here alone, even though it feels like I'm here alone because I'm in my hermit cave. I've been walking around this dark cave, and it's not fun anymore. I think what I'm feeling is I need to go and apply what I've been learning about myself. Apply, like actually perform it, act it out. Let's do it, if you guys are down. Yeah, so I was trying to make this short. Now we're into it like 40 minutes, but yeah. This is gonna stay on Instagram. Leave some comments afterwards, and let me know what you guys want to talk about next time, or maybe kind of let's stay in the theme. But aside from all that important, beautiful stuff that's been happening to me, yeah, I got perfumes that are coming out finally. I know I've sent samples of Eros and Atlas and stuff to people for years now, and I've sold them on the side, and it's just time to put them on the website. I just got to get really cool pictures of them so I can post them. I think that's the only reason why I haven't done it. I don't have any cool pictures, but yeah. Still working on Bear. Bear is just, I guess I'm starting to do this. This is just bear fat. It's being extracted through a special solvent. This is the last piece of it, but everything else, Bear's done. Like, I've already put all three together. I forgot about this part. So to do this part, it's going to be super simple, but it's just a lot of fat, and calcining fat is just a pain in the ass. And the solvent and everything just fucking stinks. So I've been waiting for it to cool down outside, and so I can go and do this outside. It's always outside. And the next one after Bear will be Octopus, which I'm terrified of, because Octopus, sea creatures, the gases that are emitted are just really fucking dangerous. And yeah, anyway. No new metallics coming out. I mean, I have bismuth. I don't know how to write about bismuth. Indium and stuff, just crazy metals that I've been working with that are fascinating. I just don't know how to articulate abstractions that are that intense or deep. But right now my main focus is perfume. The animal work just kind of tells me when it's ready, or when it's time to take it to the next step. So I don't have a say in any of that except for Bear's almost done. I'm thinking maybe by December, Black Bear will be available on the website. But my main focus, because I get distracted with all the things that I love and I really like, Bear, I'm thinking maybe by the end of the year. And then right now my main focus is perfume, to get those beautiful creations out onto the website. And that's about it. So now you know why I burned those books. You know what I've been into or up to, as far as magic comes. And let's talk about chaos magic more, and let's start to experiment. Let's try things out. You know what I mean? If you guys have any ideas, just leave them in the comment section. And I'm down. Let's open dialogue. Honestly, that's what I need in my life right now. I need to open up dialogue, because I've met my limits. I now need other. I require other, because my perception and my perspective is so fucking limited. And I know that you guys have way more that can assist us in furthering our mainly furthering our experience in this reality. How can we further our experience? Yeah. I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay up. And yeah, if you hear any cool things about 3i Atlas, please send it away. And I love you guys. Peace.